Hi, I'm Granny, and we're going down the rabbit hole of Hedy Lamarr, and I bet you've never heard of her. Was she just another pretty face? She was born in Vienna in 1914 to Jewish parents. She was their only child, and she died in Florida in the year 2000. She won a beauty contest when she was 12. She left school at 15 because of her interest in becoming an actress. And in 1930, she had a role of an extra in a movie. During the 1930s, Hedy Lamarr became known as the most beautiful woman in the world. On August 10th, 1933, Lamarr married a wealthy munitions manufacturer. He created weapons. His name was Frederick Mandel. She was 18 years at the time, and he was 33. In her autobiography, she described Mandel as extremely controlling, who prevented her from pursuing her acting career and kept her a virtual prisoner in their home. And some people describe their home as a castle. Mandel had close social and business ties to the Italian government, selling munitions to the country, and had ties to the Nazi regime of Germany. Lamarr accompanied Mandel to business meetings where he conferred with scientists and other professionals involved in military technology. These conferences were her introduction to the field of applied science and nurtured her talent in science. Lamarr felt alone and lost, deciding to leave her husband and country in 1937. In her autobiography, she wrote that she disguised herself as her maid and fled to Paris. Other accounts describe that she dressed up as preparing to go to a party and put all of her jewelry on her for whatever reason, and then after the party disappeared. Lamarr then moved to London, where she met head of MGM Studios, Louis B. Mayer, who convinced her to join his studio and moved to Hollywood. Directors grew to appreciate her intellect, knowing they could depend on her to know her lines because she only had to read them once to memorize them. What a mind. She met Howard Hughes, who was trying to increase the speed of his planes when the United States entered World War II. She recommended to him that instead of box-type squared wings on his planes, he needed to design them more like fish or bird wings, which we see today in modern planes. Hughes was so impressed with her that he provided her a small chemistry lab, which she kept in her room on the set so that she could experiment between takes in filming. While starring in Hollywood films alongside with Clark Gable and Spencer Tracy and other famous actors of the time, she soon grew bored of the film industry. There's a whole another rabbit hole you could go down on that one. She wanted to help the United States in their fight against Hitler and set out to invent technology to help the Allies. In 1942, Lamarr and co-inventor George Antheil patented, and they had more than one patent, frequency hopping radio guidance system by manipulating radio frequencies, which could prevent interception of messages by the enemy and also prevent the enemy from jamming a torpedo's guidance system. But Lamarr was classified as an Austrian immigrant and considered an enemy alien, and her patents were confiscated when she tried to convince the military of their value. Lamarr and Antheil were ignored, and one of their systems, wasn't used until the Cuban crisis about 20 years later. But it will take another 20 plus years before she will be recognized as also an ingenious inventor. Each of us today benefit from that brilliant mind of hers. Her contributions to the arts and technology, her arts and technology acumen, Lamarr was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And in 2019, 17 years after her death, being inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame. She also created the spread spectrum, which is still being used today. This technology is the basis to GPS, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. Her creative inventions are worth billions today, but she never received a cent. In 1990, author Fleming Meeks wrote an article about Hedy Lamarr. He taped many of his conversations with her, including how she invented the spread spectrum. She stated that her intellect was ignored because people couldn't accept that she could be beautiful and smart. In her last years, she kept in touch with people, mostly through her telephone. She regularly would leave them long voicemails. Lamarr wrote a poem and shared it on her son's voicemail, which said, "Give the world the best of you, and you get kicked in the teeth. Give the world the best you've got anyway." What a brilliant way to describe how to live your life. I really admire her and grateful, because I wouldn't be able to do what I do without her genius. Thanks for spending this time with me. Please join me again when Granny goes down the rabbit hole. Please subscribe and share. Thank you very much.